So we believe that content in our category will play an important role. It's just not that you are buying a product of Man Company or face wash, but if you have to have a brand play, the moat is brand, then it has to be derived like content.
I'm here with Bhisham Bhateja, one of the founders of the Man Company, one of the premier men's grooming companies in India. So, Bhisham, before you got into
Yeah.
e-commerce, you did a lot of consulting. And so, were there any key learnings from your previous experience?
During my consulting days, I have helped a lot of companies across industries to start up operations in India. I've solved various problems across industries, channels, markets. So that experience has helped me in my startup. In it's you have to play all the hats in a day. Every hour you have to change the hat. When I enter the office, wearing a hat of operations guy, and within 1 hour I had to change it to a new product development or a finance thing. So the consulting experience, because it is so varied, that has helped me in my startup in just catching up with different verticals very fast and just getting things sorted.
So, the consulting, you really learned to have a diverse skill set, work with many businesses. And so, when you got into the Man Company, how did you get started? How to conceive of the brand?
Okay, it's the conceptualization of Man Company is a 2.5 year process. So me and my partner Hitesh and our third partner Parvesh all wanted to do something in the personal grooming, personal care category because the gross margins in this industries are very high. We were studying a lot of markets, including US. We visited a lot of exhibitions outside India, and we were seeing there's a lot of traction of men's grooming outside India. And we saw the gap that the same gap is applicable in India also, because at that time, suppose a man has to use a face wash, then you have something for men like Garnier for men or Ponds for men, and primarily they are women brands who are offering a product for men. But at the same time, if men has to use a shampoo, then there's a different brand. Garnier and Ponds are not offering a shampoo, so there was no single brand for men offering all the products which are required. We need a specialized range of products for men where men can associate with the brand they are using every day. So that association was missing because there was no brand giving head to toe products for men.
You guys went into the industry because you found there was missing spot in the market, and then also the margins economically it made a lot of sense. Like, so you decided to get into this. So how did you guys get started? Come up with the first particular product, get the first 1,000 customers.
Me and Hitesh, my partner, we went to school together, LKG. So we are right now 42 years and we know each other for 38 years. So that's how we met. And Parvesh, our third partner, is Hitesh, distant cousin. And he has a lot of experience in perfume packaging and perfume industry. So that's how we all three joined and to do something together in personal care. And when we decided that we have to do the Man Company men's grooming product, and we decided on the domain name and the brand name, etc. Post that, we started researching on what are the gaps in the market in terms of price points, quality, the skin type of men, what kind of products will specialize for men. So there's a lot of difference between a men's skin and women's skin, but product wise, we have to tweak a little, not much. I won't say that women product is totally different from a men's product. Though our skin. So we started researching, met a couple of people, men across age groups. What are their expectations from a personal care, personal grooming brand? Do they need it? Half of the men never wanted it. They said it doesn't matter to us because it's just a grocery item. Whatever is lying in my bathroom, I just use it. So that was the initial feedback from the men. Slowly we started developing few products, conducting a lot of focus group. We made small groups, which is friends and family only, to test the products, to guide us. We took some professional help also in terms of formulation, and then first batch set of 12 products were launched in 2015. That's all.
Really, the story of how you and your co-founder know each other for 30 plus years.
Yeah, because a partnership is all about trust and respect. And the other thing is we have complementary skills. So operationally, me and Hitesh are running this business. So Hitesh is good with marketing. Hitesh is good with branding, and so Hitesh takes care of branding, marketing, and few sales function like online sales, e-commerce sales. I'm good at operations. I'm taking care of operations, finance, supply chain, NPD, etc. So that's how we have divided. And yes, few places we overlap. That's also required, like where we both overlap our roles.
Makes sense.
Like product development is one such thing where there's overlap, because he comes up with the ideas from the brand side, from the marketing side, and then I come up with a from manufacturing point of view, and then we combine together and come up with a product.
He's more into the branding, product design, that kind of stuff, and then you're more into it from the supply chain. So when you come up with new products, he might have the inspiration, but you also you need to actually deliver it and make it at a scale for your customers.
And our third partner, Pravesh, he's specializing in designing. So we take help from him on the packaging and designing point of view. How it looks, what bottle, what to use, what not to use.
Yeah, I noticed on your particular site, you guys have a lot of kind of nice animations, and the site is just very well designed. So, like really cool spinners, stuff like that. So, how do you guys think about merchandising and designing the website?
So we have an in-house team in terms of designing and all. We have in-house everything, and we keep. It's an ongoing process. Every day they are doing something or other. Some concept is they are making. They are implementing something. Then it works. It doesn't work. At times, what works on paper doesn't look good on screen when actually we implement it. So it's an ongoing process. We have a great team, a small team. They keep doing it. It's a daily
So,
process.
how do you guys figure out which change will to stick with? Do you guys do a lot of A/B testing? Do you see which conversion does better, or just qualitative feedback from customers, intuition?
No, it's everything. It's qualitative, it's quantitative. A/B testing is there. And see, nowadays technology is moving so fast that every day there's a new change. We can't cope up with the kind of changes happening, tools we are getting in the market to just implement it. So for example, a very small thing, a loyalty program, if we say, so there are hundreds of players giving loyalty programs, and everyone has some feature or other which is different from. There's a small difference. We can't do everything, but yes, we are trying our best. Whatever we it gets on our way, we think. See, first of all, it is our gut which says, okay, this will work, and then we implement. At times it works, at times it doesn't work, but we do all the, as you said, A/B testing, qualitative from the customers. We have a strong CRM team which take a lot of feedback from the customers. So there is a lot of scope of improvement, and we keep doing
You said that there's many vendors out there, new tools coming out. So how do you internally think about which tools to try? Because there's just so many tools out there.
that. We have our own quarterly roadmap. For example, this quarter is loyalty. So our priority will be loyalty. Team will dedicatedly work on all the tools, etc. But something new comes up which we think somebody told, something we read something that somebody implemented this and there's a case study. We'll try to do a quick pilot and see if it is making some sense to us, and then we try to implement that. Because see, there are a lot of things we hear. Say, for example, something worked in US market, that doesn't mean it will work here. And be from a UI, any feature point of view. So those things also we keep on doing, but we every quarter we have a focus area.
But one thing you're mentioning is you're focusing on loyalty this quarter. So are there any kind of key lessons about loyalty you've learned over that time?
The more you make it interactive, the more we make it to say customers can burn points, somebody else's points can be burnt on my side, my points can be used on some other side. And the more tie-ups and partnerships you have, it will help you in retaining a customer.
That totally makes sense. So not just a simple cash back, but having these points programs, you could share that.
Yeah, you have to make it interesting. So people, everybody is giving this cashback. Everyone is a small supermarket is also giving us cashback. A big brand is giving a cashback. This is a basic. But how can you make it interesting? Matters a lot. We have something called spin the wheel. We started this 3 4 years back when the spin the wheel was not very new. So you just spin the wheel and you get 30% discount or something, or free or something like that. So it is an interactive thing to engage the customer. Ultimately, customer is looking for a discount. It's just that you are making it more interactive, which help us in conversions and everything.
For sure. Shopping is not just a transactional process, it's also like a fun activity. You have to be engaged and interested.
Yeah, it is an experience. It is just not that transactional. You just went to a website, bought a product, you paid, and you just moved out.
Makes sense. One thing I noticed, you guys also have a mobile app. What is the key use case for the mobile app?
Our key learning was that there are few regular customers who are there. So we wanted to give them a more personalized experience. So that's how we ventured into that, and we didn't know that how it will work, but it is working well for us because the average order value of the customers buying from app vis-a-vis our website is higher, and there are a lot of interactive stuff we keep putting up in that look. So there are a lot of videos, how to do videos or grooming videos, which we see people are seeing. So content. So we believe that content in our category will play an important role. It's just not that you are buying a product of Man Company or face wash, but if you have to have a brand play, the moat is brand, then it has to be derived like content. And we are working hard, still early days, but yeah, going on.
It's having the mobile app for your returning customers, and then also putting a lot of content out there for these customers to learn and enjoy. What have been some of the best marketing channels for you guys?
See, best in terms of return on investment till last year were Facebook and Instagram, but now they're very expensive. Now again, things are looking little better, but last year was really bad in terms of return on investment at Facebook or Instagram because of I don't know what algorithm they changed. They did something, but yeah, they are the best tools so far for marketing. Yes, we do a lot of influencer marketing, local micro level influencers. They are also doing well for us.
That totally makes sense. And do you try to do organic social type stuff too? So like on your own Instagram.
Yeah, those things. Google also we do organic searches, SEOs. We do keep doing all those things.
One thing I think a little while back you mentioned is that when you're evaluating tool, it might be good in the US market, but not work well in the Indian market. So what are things you think that are very unique to the Indian market?
So in India, thing which very few countries have is the cash on delivery feature. So you have to make it interesting, easy, how to use. At the same time, when somebody has not paid, then the rate of return, that means the customer not accepting the product, is also very high. In the sense, you ordered a product cash on delivery, you don't you the product is reaching in 2 days and you change your mind, and you have nothing to lose because you have not paid cash. If we are managing our checkout page, then cash on delivery. There are so many modes of payment in India: credit card, debit card, net banking. Then this is UPI is there, like we can pay through a mobile number. Then cash on delivery. So these things are very localized for Indian market. Not they are not a global tool. Again, loyalty, making it cool is one thing, but loyalty has a financial impact on the books of account because loyalty points are technically your liability which you have to pay to the customers. Similarly, payment gateways or some payment tools, because it is highly governed by RBI in India, the Reserve Bank of India. Auto subscription for our products is not easy in India. So they are very different. So yeah, in US there's no big deal. You put up a credit card and every month, first or fifth, the money will deduct and the product will reach you. In India, it's not that simple.
There's very many different kind of financial things with like UPI subscriptions, and then I think also the biggest difference you mentioned is the cash on delivery. Really
Yeah.
changes the whole kind of experience. So one thing you mentioned earlier on is that you handled operations. So maybe you can talk about some of the key lessons you learned managing supply chains.
So every phase of business has different challenges operationally. If all challenges are different in every stage of business. So when I was doing a business of Indian rupees 1 million, there was a different set of challenges. When I'm doing a business of 10 million, there are different set of challenges, and 20 million, there are different set of challenges. But being a startup, the only advantage we have or only option we have to survive is that agility to because we don't have that much manpower and that much infrastructure to envisage few problems which we have never experienced in life. So whenever problem comes, it comes very fast, but we have to be agile enough, make our processes, change our processes immediately as per the need, and then sail through the journey.
You guys have scaled up the organization. So how do you manage the team as it grows bigger, but at the same time still remain agile?
Yeah, it is one of the most difficult things to do, to manage the team as well as agility, because the moment you get very experienced guys, they are process oriented because they've come from some kind of experience working in big companies, so they don't want to change. And we as a startup are very agile. If you follow those processes, they are time taking processes and we don't have time. So it is very difficult for we are learning to manage a team who has certain experience and to make sure they are equally agile, because if we lose agility then we'll be out in the market in no time.
You really want to incorporate the experience of other people, but at the same time, you don't want to just take whatever checklist or process and just keep adding it to your existing.
Yeah, because when we take an experienced guy with good experience, he comes up with a big list of infrastructure, teams, and those things. Yes, we understand we require that, but that should not be the showstopper. Show must go on. Those things will keep coming, keep going. Few cases will agree. We are not financially like big companies. Okay, you are starting up something. First 6 months, they just hire the team, train the team, and do. For us, everything has to be done within a month.
The kind of speed, the resources, the agility,
Yeah,
resourcefulness is a lot different. So the men companies really expanded in kind of catalog and offerings over the years. So how do you guys think about which new products to add?
we have a separate NPD team, and there is a separate research team which they keep speaking to a lot of customers, potential customers, and existing customers. What are their requirements? How our products are not doing good? Similarly, NPT departments keep on working with formulators, etc., where they keep coming up with new products, and then so developing some every week. And then depending on the market size, how best we can start fragrances, etc., we test the market, we test with some few customers, focus groups, and then we come up with a product. For us, the best part is testing a product live is not very expensive, because we can make 10,000 units and we can try with our own website, and it's not that difficult for us to launch 10,000 products and to sell those products. And so that's how agility is there, because if that product doesn't click, to lose, and if it clicks, it starts coming up, because every time research doesn't give the best results. Talking to people, research to give you a perspective, but unless and until you go launch the product, and being a smaller company, launching cost is very small for us.
Where you guys try to get feedback, but at some point you have to launch it, but you're not selling billions of items. The cost required is manageable. So one thing you mentioned is you do focus groups. So maybe you can talk about what are the different ways you get feedback from the user.
Okay, so we have set of loyalists which are with us from so many years. So we send them products. We keep sending them NPDs. We keep giving them, incentivize them with a lot of our gifts. Okay, a lot of interactive material we send. We conduct some kind of a session with a hairstylist or a grooming expert for them. So these are few interactive ways to keep them warm, and they are our loyal customers. They love the brand. So we keep doing these things for the new recruits. Somebody who has just come on our website out of nowhere, and we just got the email address, and he's not bought a product. So we have set up those users also. We try talking to them, what are their needs. So all these things help us in developing new products.
Makes sense. So you guys have your loyalists who you give free sample, have a deep relationship with, and then also you want to make sure that you don't just get feedback from your most loyal customers, but also you always have to get new customers and turn those into loyal customers. But in 5 years from now, what is the long-term goal of the Man Company?
So 5 years, I want to be approximately where I approximately 5x of what I'm doing now. In terms of reach, I am presently not there. I'm primarily an online player. Majority of my business is through marketplaces and my own site. Some modern trade I'm touching, but in India there's a big market of general trade where you have a lot of cosmetic stores, mom and pop stores who are selling products, and they're big market. more than 85% of Indian retail is general trade. So I'm not there in that market. In next 5 years, I would like to make some kind of dent in that market in terms of product offerings. We'll try to have specialized products. When I say very specialized range for dandruff or hair fall, though we have a very generic range, but very specialized range, which are like those products will be very expensive but very effective for people who have a very like very serious problem.
That totally makes sense. So I think the 2 points here is expanding offline, and then instead of expanding into men's apparel or that, just really focusing on your category, but adding more specific products.
We have around 65 of our own stores in India, which we call as EBO. They are kiosks, exclusive business outlets, small kiosk in the mall or on a high street at the airports. So the aim is to say next 5 years have 200 of them.
Maybe you can just talk a little more about these kiosks.
In 2017, we got an opportunity to have a small shop in shop at Delhi Airport Terminal 2. There's this perfume store. They said they can give us some space, either on commission or rental, whichever is higher. So we thought, okay, airport, we are getting some kind of space. If sales doesn't happen, so it will help us in branding at least. But to our surprise, also first month, also we did good numbers. So that gave us exposure that offline for our brand there is a market. And then we thought of doing this experiment in two malls in India. So did that experiment, very small kiosk, 8 by 8, 6 by 10 feet kiosk in the mall, and they started giving us good results. So we were must be around 12, 15 stores in 2021. Then from there, journey is now 65. So it's a good model, and the best part is we get franchises to run the show. So the investment and all we get from franchisees. So they are making good money. We are also because it helps us managing our working capital as well as managing the because the local person managing the store they will manage it better than me.
For the franchisee model, a win-win. Final couple of questions here. Are there any kind of trends in e-commerce you're really excited about?
Think expectation of the customer is so high in terms of delivery that in there's a company called Grofus. They have changed to Blinkit. There's Swiggy's Instamart. Everybody is there, and they have deep pockets, so they can afford 8-minute deliveries. But so that's their expectation is there. But as a small player, I can't do that. So that's the habit forming thing. People will start paying for that 8 minutes very soon. Though we are still paying. At times they charge us during the peak hours, and we pay a very small amount. But started paying. It's not pinching us. At times, the cost of the product is equal to the cost of the logistics and delivery charges you do, but people are paying it. So that's the expectation of the customers. We are not able to do that. So that's a one big challenge we are trying to solve because if you do like same day delivery, it comes with a cost, and customer is not ready to pay the cost. So customer wants a fast service because my competitor or any other brand is giving at a free of cost. But if I do, I cannot spend a lot of money in doing that.
A
So this is the
customer wants the product faster, cheaper, better, right? But that you can't do everything. So having to pick the best spot across the curve.
it's very difficult, yeah. Because and customer is also right. If Amazon is delivering through Prime in 5 hours and I'm not, then it's not customer's fault.
Makes sense.
And they're used to.
So how do you guys deliver right now?
So we have our own warehouses, and we partner with logistics companies like Blue Dart or Delivery in India, local. We do delivery panning.
And then final question: is there been a brand you've bought from recently that you've been really impressed with?
I really admire from a product point of view Ralph Lauren as a brand. I really like them. If you ask me from a communication point of view, I like Nike as a. There's this brand called Tumi in luggages. I really appreciate.